kind of been a thorn in the Ducks' side in the past. How are you guys approaching that this week?
Yeah, we're approaching it like every other game. We have a theme every week, and we've established our theme, and we just want to focus and finish and have a good week of practice and just get ready to play.
You played them with Colorado in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Do you remember any of those matchups? Who were you on most of that day?
Yeah, I remember that game. It was my second game. We played at Stanford, but I think the receiver I was playing, he's not there anymore. But I just remember the game plan they like to do, and the Stanford fade and all the stuff they love. So we're just working on that.
Yeah, they like to use their size and their physicality as receivers and get their tight ends out there too. Just how do you feel about a matchup like that?
I love that. It's different from guarding a normal receiver to going to somebody that's big, but I feel like I'm a big corner, so I like those type of matchups.
How are you going to adjust to, so that trick plays like that doesn't happen again that happened at Washington State, where they were trying to act like they were looking for a play and they weren't really?
Yeah, that's just football. It happens sometimes, and you grow from it, you learn from it, and you move on.
Well, are the coaches trying to get the play in sooner then? Is that the way to avoid it, or how do you avoid it?
It's just we gotta keep working on it. So that's all.
Stanford's known over the years too. Sometimes they'll throw out an extra offensive lineman, they throw out a lot of tight ends, a fullback. Your offense is actually doing some of that. So the fact that they're running some of that stuff, do you see enough of that in like good on good periods or anything like that that can help you going into a matchup like this?
Yeah, for sure. But then at the same time, it's just I gotta stick to my keys, read my keys, and just trust my film study and do what I gotta do.
I imagine you're going to be locked up at some points in the game on Wilson. He leads the conference in receiving yards per catch, and I think it's over 20. Just what makes him so explosive and so good to make big plays like that?
He's a vet. He knows how to get off press coverage, and he's a big guy. But this is what I live for. Big matchups. It's always fun. So that brings the best out of people.
Does he remind you of anybody you've played before, Wilson?
Not a certain receiver, but I just a good receiver go against every day.
Anybody from the scout team just giving you guys kind of a specifically good look on those bigger receivers?
All the scout team, they're doing a great job. They've done a great job every week. We work with the tight ends to get bigger bodies, to see them try to box us out, and they've been doing great.
Sorry to repeat, but how much did you face Wilson back when you were at Colorado 2 years ago?
I think I guarded him a couple times. I'm not too sure, but I was just watching film and getting ready to play.
Everybody can point out their size that makes them unique. Is that the biggest part of the Christian? Is that they're just all 6'2" and 6'4" and 6'5" guys? Is that kind of the biggest part of this challenge this week?
Yeah, but then they're good receivers. Like we face every week, there's always going to be good receivers, and that just adds to what they can use in their toolbox. So us as corners, we got to add stuff in our toolbox and compete with them.
Not just yourself, but you guys got a lot of big DBs, probably one of the bigger secondaries in the Pac-12. How do you guys think you match up as a whole with them?
I think we match up well. Like you said, we all have size, so we can play those type of big body receivers, but we can also run with any type of speedy receiver. So I think it's a great matchup.
They also like to mix up the personnel a lot, those bigger packages that you have. You guys worked on any different packages this week to combat that?
We're just going off of what we see and just trusting what we got and watching film and doing what we got to do.
There's a lot of NFL discussion with Tanner. He's maybe not the top 3 or 4 quarterback, but he's on boards. Teams are scouting. What makes him so good at that quarterback position?
Yeah, he's a great quarterback. He can make any type of throw. A great pocket passer can sit in there and hold the defense, look off a safety, and go backside. And it's just he's a vet. He knows what he's doing back there. So that's the guy that leads the offense. We got to stop him.
You're worried about the matchups with the receiver. Corners don't play each other, but when you're in a game where there's another elite corner like yourself, do you look forward to those sorts of things? Again, you guys aren't playing each other. You're not lined up against Caillou, but you two are probably the best 2 corners in this league. So does that mean something to you? Do you appreciate those matchups and they have?
Yeah, of course. That's something like it's a little like you said, we're not playing him, but in a point I kind of am. You know, we both want to go out and show who's the best corner. And I got a lot of respect for him, and you know, he's a great corner, and it's fun to see how we both play differently, and then just meeting up after the game and just talking.
Have you guys talked before? Do you know each other well?
Not well, but you know, mutual through football, obviously, and I'm just excited.
You guys have stuck with the left-right corner alignment a lot so far this year, and you personally have been lined up on the boundary a good bit because of that. Opponents have had some success to the field when you are to the boundary. Do you have a particular preference if you had the opportunity to play to the field a little bit more and cover that ground, if opponents are going to try and pick there a little bit, or you'd like the left-right thing and just stick with matchups? Or
I got confidence in all my corners. Whoever play on the other side of me, I know they're going to do their job and I do my job. And you know, it's kind of just like we never really practice specifically who's going to play where. You know, in practice, Coach Meade does a great job of making us switch each drive, so we get work on my right side, and then next drive I'll go play left side. So nobody get too comfortable on just playing one side. So I just like playing the game. Either side I'm on, I'm good with.
how much talking do you do on the field, Christian? Because again, like go to that BYU game and that pass to the tight end. Looked like you had at least a hand gesture towards him that wasn't going to work. How much chatting do you have on the field?
I mean, I never really think of doing it. It just kind of happens. You know, you got to play out there. You got to show how much it means. Football, it means something. You can't go out there and just play all bored. And you know, you got to show your energy, and that's one way. I'm not a big talkative guy, but sometimes when I'm playing, it changes. So.
Is that just game day, or you like that in practice too?
Yeah, I'm pretty talkative sometimes. Especially when we're on the field, I'm a lot more talkative. And you know, it's just being around the guys all the time. And when you cross that line, it's a different type of person.
Any corner that you model your game after?
I like Pat Surtain a lot. You know, he was kind of the first really big corner I watched a lot, and he's a big physical corner, and I like the way he does everything. So I just try to mimic him.
You guys obviously played against Georgia, who also have some of those big tight ends that they like to roll out. A lot of those were obviously in space, but things like that. But how, just competing against Georgia and already playing them, how does that sort of help you guys play against Stanford and their big tight ends?
Yeah, you know, it was great to play against them. Great learning opportunity, and seeing how offenses can use their big tight ends to try to create mismatches. And we went through that and we learned from it, and we're excited to get another opportunity to go against some big matchups.
Was there anything specific you guys learned from that you can take into this game and use to your advantage?
Yeah, you know, we got to tackle well, make big tackles, make tackles in open space, and just do our game plan and focus and finish, like I said earlier.
All right, thanks, Gonzo.
Yeah.